I only
Nothing
thought
at
I
night.
needed glasses when I didn't.
You had contacts at 9 years old? That's not good for your eyes.
I don't give a shit. Neither are glasses.
You know how many tomatoes you're going to have to eat to correct all the
What?
damage you've done?
Who cares?
Are tomatoes good for eyes?
Yeah, they got
I
like
thought it was
that.
carrots.
It's carrots.
That's a lie,
Oh, really?
if I may.
Please.
True
Please
talk.
do.
True talk.
Uh-huh.
So in World War II, Britain was trying to hide the fact that they created something called radar, which was detecting airplanes in the nighttime.
Okay.
And they had this gigantic, this is real, counterintelligence propaganda telling their troops to eat carrots. Eat carrots to see the planes, boys. Go and eat those carrots. Carrots do jack shit for your eyes. It's a fucking lie perpetuated by the government.
Why did they
Wow.
want their troops to eat carrots? Like,
So that
It
the
was a
enemies
trick.
would be like, oh my god, they've been eating so many carrots, that's why they can see our planes.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, the British Army just eats carrots and they don't have this radar thing. That doesn't exist. It's just the carrots.
I think it's brilliant.
Brilliant, except that they
genius.
never stopped the propaganda. And then
I mean-
Big Carrot came and said, we're going to perpetuate this lie and have people eat disgusting carrots.
I mean, you also have the
They snagged the Grim, boys.
bunnies.
They snagged the goddamn Grim. Genius. Genius
Bunnies.
idea.
Bunnies eat carrots.
Actually,
And
carrots are
have you
very
ever
bad
seen
for
a
bunnies.
bunny with glasses?
They're very bad for bunnies. I've seen a lot of dead bunnies thanks to eating carrots. That's another lie spread by Big Carrot.
I thought bunnies really liked carrots.
Yeah, they do, and then they die.
I've seen Watership Down.
You've seen Watership Down? That's a
Isn't that the name of
effed up movie, yeah.
I know, but they eat carrots.
Is that
in
what your
it.
parents used to make you watch on loop? Is that
No,
why you,
it's
the way
on
you are?
Netflix. Also, I really like the potential of Rubik's stealing Doom or Chain Frost and Grimstroke getting still the double Doom or the double
Oh,
Chain
the counter.
Like it.
That's
Yeah.
a couple steps, but I like it. What do you think about that deny pick of Grimstroke there? Neil, you think? Oh, excuse me, Tsunami. You think that that's worth it?
Dare you use my
sorry.
god-given name like that
Oh, sorry.
in public? I'm kind of more interested in this carrot thing, but sure. The Grimstroke is a denial pick. I don't really think that
Hey!
they needed to
there
go
he
for
is.
it, though, because the Extremum went in on the Wombo combo last game, and then they just got split pushed to death and got counterpicked by a Viper. So if they went all in on Teamfight again, I feel like Omegalil would have been able to piece it apart. But it's fine. They deny it. There is the steal potential into more Soulbind combinations, like Shiver mentioned. Juggernaut cannot take advantage of Soulbind. It is not
Wait,
a double
what?
Omni Slash.
But he can take advantage of the laning stage
Sure,
with the Inkswell.
that's true. The ball.
The ball.
The
We talked
ball.
about it last
We
time.
talked
We were
about
waiting
the
for that
ball.
jug pick with all these ball heroes, and there you go. So that will legitimately change this laning phase, I think. Juggernaut typically has to wait until the mid-game, typically level 6, to pull off a nice Omni Slash. Then he starts snowballing. With somebody like Grimstroke in the lane, if anyone's ever out of position, they're going to die. Especially with these squishy heroes, right? Only Doom could possibly survive such an onslaught.
And even in the laning phase, I'm not too encouraged with Doom being able to get away, because most of the time it's his Scorched Earth move speed that gets him out of sticky situations. But between Blade Fury damage and the Inkswell move speed, and even like Stroke of Fate being a move speed slow, I find it unlikely that this Doom will be able to get out of most things unless
And he has super low armor still, right?
Yeah, but most of this will be magic damage, so I guess like once the stun triggers, then yeah, the Jug with his crits would also be able to cut
Yeah.
through the Doom.
The
Oh
mysteries
no!
cannot
I mean,
protect
hey,
themselves.
Templars. Cool.
Wait,
you
why don't you
also-
like it?
Cool.
This is BSJ look-alike doing on my panel.
I mean, I'm just saying, I've seen a lot of Templar losing. And most of the time that we've seen Templar winning, it's with a high negative armor team that she can bounce off of that and get like early decils and just melt people. But in this meta, it's like, if you catch somebody, yeah, you might be able to melt them, but how is Templar going to approach these peeps unless she just dominates that mid? And who she's going to dominate against?
Void Spirit.
I guess. You think she is good against Void Spirit?
I think that's actually the only reason why they picked it, is just because it's a pretty favorable mid lane matchup, because otherwise there's a ton of ways to burn through a Refraction, Inkswell being multiple damage instances, the Blade Fury being multiple damage instances. They can't really turn this Void Spirit into a 3. I haven't seen that in a very long time, so
I mean, it can happen.
it could happen.
I think they can make a much stronger mid push on Templar than what does their team even do. If Templar loses mid, they are in some serious trouble right here.
It's true. I mean, I'd be down for a Viper yet again.
Yeah,
This just
didn't
got
learn.
banned.
Good.
Batrider
did,
got
you're right.
banned as well.
Rider too. So, yeah,
Yep.
so they really want to protect this TA.
So they've opened themselves up. The Death Star has opened the air vent. Get a better mid than TA. Destroy her with a damage over time ability, and you have won this game. Eu, of course.
A what?
How would you? Because I know exactly what you mean, but how would you say that? Imio?
Imio?
IMO.
Oh.
IMHO.
Imo.
Imeo.
In my honest
That's
opinion.
Imho.
Yeah, that's an imho.
What
I'm
did
just
you wanna
saying-
say?
I'm
That's
saying
just I'm ho.
Imeo.
What is it?
I don't need to say it. I've said
Go for it.
I've said it several times.
What is
Carrot, big carrots coming in here. Listen to me, people. Anyway, last pick coming out here. What are they missing?
The Ursa Bear.
The bear? A risky pixie.
It is really risky, but it can go toe-to-toe with the Juggernaut if he just stands still and hit them. If he gets an Abyssal Blade, he has a good shot. I think it is still pretty tricky.
It is,
No.
especially on guys like, he's got to get a basher to even hope to kill the Spirit Man.
Yeah.
He's got to get a basher to try to kill the Juggernaut. I mean, he has got to have a good game.
There's a lot of things that can kite this Ursa.
Right.
And
Rubik in general makes his life a living hell of a
Right.
stage.
so really, they don't even know. I guess they're assuming that Voidsphere might become the offlaner, because if they banned out a bunch of mid laners like the Viper and the Batrider, which also does protect the Ursa, but whatever the case, like they're expecting someone melee to show up in the offlane, which is likely, but I think that it's better for Omegalil to target the TA rather than the Ursa. I think the Ursa will have his hands full with the supports, and as long as the TA can't pop off in the mid lane, then you should be able to handle her.
So is there something still left that the Templar Assassin could face against that would be really good other than the Void Spirit?
Is out-
Like
oh,
Razor. Totally was going to say Razor. I absolutely thought, just like everybody in this room, that Razor was going to be the last pick. I heard what's from Cap and Lizard, and you see your faces. Where does that come from?
True.
Okay, well, they just hate the Ursa then. They're like, okay, whatever Templar says, and you can do your thing. Instead, let's just make this Ursa's life a living hell, because the first 4 heroes were already fulfilling that. And yeah, even the odds, actually, those are pretty even odds. I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, slightly favored for Omegalil, which is only natural considering their track record. But yeah, Extremum not doing too bad.
Ain't a smart guy, but is Razor good against TA? I mean,
No, that's why I think it's purely for the Ursa matchup, which I still don't know who they're going to send mid. Maybe they might even send Razor offlane, and then just like make the mid lane a wash, which I mean Void Spirit doesn't do like terribly. It's just as hard as any other melee without DOT versus a Templar Assassin, but yeah, wow. This is some
I ain't a fan of that pick. Tip.
some little flavor.
I like to think of TA as what I call rock, paper, scissors hero, right? If you don't counter her, she is going to win that game, but she is a hero that has extreme counters.
Yeah.
So you're leaving yourselves open for rock here. You just picked the one that, well, I don't know.
Razor.
I guess that'd be scissors. There's a razor, but that would be crushed by the rock, and that's not really.
All right, I will save you. I will save you.
Thank you.
We are ready to get this second game on the way. Let's find out how things are going to play out, and let's head over to equipment for team of Cap and Lizard.
The worst last pick Ursa that has ever been in the history of Dota. That's what I was hearing from my analysts. And then on top of that, they got Razored as well. Lizard, what is the point of this Ursa?
You know,
Because according to them, it's just awful. Just plain garbage.
it's a.
Nerd.
Why am I a
Why-
nerd
why-
all of a sudden? What's happening here?
Why are they calling us nerds?
I
What the
don't know,
hell?
man. I'll take
Oh,
off my
shit.
glasses.
Oh,
What
shit.
did you say?
Damn! Oh!
All right. What the point of this?
Go on. Don't let the clowns over there distract you.
I don't know really what the point of the Ursa is, but you
Okay.
can play a little bit on a faster pace than you could with the Spectre, and that's something that they have got going for themselves in this game. They have the TA, they have the Ursa, and they have to play faster. So maybe it's a quick change of pace, quick change of strategy, something that might actually benefit Extremum, but we'll see.
And what about this Razor pick? This is definitely a hero that we have not seen hardly any of.
So it's a hero that can pick and choose his lane in this game, and he will dominate any lane that he goes to. It looks like they have decided to put him mid, and I have to say though that I'm not the biggest fan of that decision, because TA will farm the jungle. You will maybe crush her first few levels. She'll get 1 or 2 raid bans, level 3, and then she's off to the jungle. She'll have farm, and then suddenly you have this Razor pick that hasn't been picked for quite a long time. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say that maybe it's a hidden hero that works, but I really haven't seen Razor work in a really, really long time.
Razor has been picked up 3 times here at the Omega League, twice in Southeast Asia and once in South America. It's won 2 out of 3 of its matches. By the way, did you know we have only had 1 hero that's been unplayed? And I'm actually quite surprised.
Which hero is it?
It's Sniper.
Sniper hasn't been played?
Yeah, according to Dota Buff anyway. I'm very surprised by that.
I'm surprised no one even tried a position for Yaps or Sniper, you know, that's at least fun. That's something you can try in your enclosed qualifiers, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, people even tried the new Bloodseeker.
Yeah.
There was a team that picked that hero. Granted, they obviously lost.
Yeah, you don't pick that. We don't talk about that hero. Blood what?
Yeah. I swear to God, though, Lizard, that hero just needs number changes. At some point in time, it'll become overpowered. Give it 6 months. It'll get enough number changes, and then it'll just be
+1
broken.
armor, +1 armor.
Yeah.
It is one of those heroes, definitely, that's a little bit hard to balance out, and it feels just utterly broken or utterly useless, and now he's on the bad side of that. Razor has been buffed, actually. Like, if you remember his static link after the change, now you can, I believe, attack a target of your choosing again.
Yep. So if you don't attack anybody, it'll still automatically hit the person that you are static linked to, but you can now choose to target somebody else, which, you know, I was actually a big fan of the initial change where you just automatically hit the person. Granted, Razor became really strong during that small little mini meta, but now you've got really good options and don't have to worry about that pesky attack animation.
Talking about other lanes, here on top we have Earth Spirit versus Grim and Jug. Grim and Jug, it's one of those old school combos, and G
goes down. Wonder how many times G has died in his lifetime career, because I was looking at his matches and apparently he's closing in on almost 2,000 matches.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, he's played a lot of...
Isn't it sad that you have like this very good stat coming from a mid lane or carry, and then you transition into a position 5 and suddenly you die 10 times as much?
Yeah. Was that a taunt? What was that taunt?
Is it the new one from TA? I think so.
Oh God.
It's oh God. That's how it is.
All I heard was a sound effect and did not recognize that sound effect, and it sounded terrible.
It looks pretty much the same.
You know what I appreciate about Mega League is that they skip past the first like 20 seconds of the match, and we get to avoid the chat wheel spam that starts where it just literally everyone spams a line at the very start, and it's just this rare cacophonous noise.
Yeah, you can't hear yourself, you can't hear your thoughts even. Yeah, it's
a courier. Go get it! Filler, roll after it! Oh.
Yeah, 2 games in a row, Valior isn't playing his signature Tiny. I'm a bit sad. Speaking about G and his old teams and that old but gold, Valior was in it as well. He used to be very sick on that Tiny.
Oh! See that back dancing there from Sunlight? That was smooth. Kept his healing salve alive.
Well, this was really well played, Malik.
Nifrit. Classic combinations here. The Lich, ever since he was given that Frost armor change, put him with any sort of hero, Juggernaut, Ursa, any hero that can that just needs to be able to get on top of somebody. Velor is going to be able to cut his way through the trees here, and Kellen will miss out on a whole heap of damage.
Yeah, that lane on bottom, however, isn't that easy for Ursa and Lich, because you have Lift to disengage, and you also have Malik with built-in evasion abilities, right? So
even early on, the harassment war, you're talking about Fade Bolt plus him having a physical damage shield, you're going to feel like initially those first 2 hits aren't doing anything.
And that's reflected in CS as well, right? You have Void Spirit almost even with the Ursa. He is even pretty much.
They're going to go for the dive. They will. The spin, as long as you don't mess this up. You've got a kill on your hands, and sure enough.
Did he pop Salve there as well on Ursa? I believe sorry, Doom. I believe he did.
Yeah, I think he might have.
Yeah, in the end, no, he still has it. He still has it. All right, so
Maybe it was Happy or somebody, since they were diving the tower already. Maybe preemptively pop the salve, tank some tower hits.
yeah, Nefrit is actually being beaten here. However, that's it. Like you can't, right? You can't make this aggressive move. They need to. The only way you kill on this lane, Rubik or Malik, is if they're over aggressive and they use all their spells offensively. Then you can maybe make a counterplay.
It gets even harder because probably level 4 he's going to pick up Dissimilate.
Yep.
Kellen spinning and ink swelling, gets the stun on it too and picks up the bounty rune. Now he's got to get out though.
Was
Valor. Can he still roll forward? 2 seconds. Happy's going to try and put a stop to that. Sounds quickly removed. A nice kick forward. And Kellen does not dodge it in time. Happy tries to go for the kill, but instead it's the double for Valor.
Yeah, that wasn't the play. You just run. With that Inkswell, you just get away, because if you turn and go for that bounty, one thing why Scorched Earth is so broken is the duration. That spell just lasts forever.
Yeah.
And you just can't. You just eat all that damage. It's a level 2 Scorched Earth already. Plus Velhur, obviously, with all his spells coming in clutch.
Up by 10 CS and 15 denies. Razor Lane going very well against the Templar Assassin. But as you said, Templar Assassin does have a way to be able to recover. At some point in time, she's just going to start jungling. Non-Grata. As long as they don't miss the stroke of fate, they should be able to get the kill. Oh, missed it. The healing salve goes off for a few more seconds, and he will survive. Still, though, he's pushed out of lane. Not the worst thing in the world. Rotation. Valor gonna land right onto Sunlight. Sunlight still copping a couple of tower hits. That last one is not enough. But they have the TA slow, and Valor. Now, too long until his spells are back up. Malik. Uh-oh. This might have been one of those times he got too aggressive. Killed by the Aftershock.
Yeah, he went there to try and contest with the small camp pull. Meanwhile, his Rubik isn't around. He went to help out mid. It was a good play from Lil. Sadly, Malik didn't really respond in a good fashion. He played too aggressively.
Yeah.
And you said that they zoned him out of the lane, but it's not only Scorched Earth that's so broken, it's also Devour, which gives you extra regions. So
yeah, he doesn't even have the second level of Devour either. Which goes from like, what, 2 to 6 regen or something like that?
I'm actually surprised he isn't maxing out Devour at all. Usually, I guess he's playing versus Jug Grim combo, and he's thinking, okay, I need the Scorched Earth maxed out as much as possible. Plus he took 1 level of Infernal Blade. It does slow you down significantly when it comes to farming. You really want the Devourer maxed out as early as possible.
Apparently playing a lot more for the lanes. Maybe he feels like he needs to do that just because TA is obviously going to need some recovery time, so maybe he feels like he needs to be more active in that regard. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the last time I saw him play this Doom is back in his Fly to Moon days even.
Yeah.
When they were pretty much on the brink of being a tier 1 team. And that used to be the build. Maybe he wasn't really following the trends as much, but this also works. Like you said, he needs to be active. He maxed out Scorched Earth and that Infernal Blade.
They had that incredible run at Epicenter, right?
Yep.
They went through the lower bracket. I think they got top 4.
Yeah,
Something like
they
that.
did extremely
really
well. It's the same year that they qualified for TI. Yeah. The original Windstrike pickup.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Non-Grata doing a good job pulling the creeps off of the towers. The Juggernaut tries to pressure.
Also keep in mind that his build is really good. He went for Boots plus Windlace, so he has that extra mobility to outrun Jug and Grim on the top lane. But almost anyone buys Windlace right now.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer item.
Don't run into the... Don't run into the Remnant. He was going to say, they still got the kill anyway. Lil does go down, and Malik, he does have to simulate here, but I'm not sure how far away he's going to get. Gets the wrong direction. Malik quickly shifts downwards, but you're going to keep the vision on him. He's going to have to go into the tower. The Aftershock doesn't get him a whole lot closer, but he still hit the damage and the slowdown. And a silence stun onto Kellen. Kellen almost dies. It's going to be hard for Nongrata to be able to chase him down. They really wanted that. Valor tries to cape in the trees, but Kellen's already cut through those trees and gotten out of that trap, and now Nongrata is going to die into the rotation from Sunlight. Kellen survives, and he's beginning to heal off of his ward.
All right, so Omegalil, they catch a break after a really unfortunate series of events on the bottom lane. If you noticed, that Void Spirit, he needed 1 experience for level 6, and he's out of there. That's why he remained in the lane.
I'm not sure why Valor tried to chase down that healing ward, because it's really fast, but that was a nice roll upwards.
Faded Brooch for Razor. That
good one.
feels good, man.
Yeah. They really got to remove the movement speed from that item or something.
Windlace plus Faded Brooch. Oh.
Kick away, Valor gets the bounty rune and gets out. Smooth moves from the 4 position of Extremum.
Years of my delight, gold and sweet.
Sunlight, though, will find G, who could have tried to TP out, but instead he's going to try and stall up the Razor's retreat here as his 2 cores close in, and the trap is sprung. Gets the kill back over the top lane. We're happy. He's going to fall as well. Omegalil, as soon as they got a break, they got way too aggressive and start losing heroes again.
So if you're playing with this Razor, you need to understand that this is a hero that has to constantly be slowly snowballing. It's these tiny items that he gets to get ahead. Power Threads, a couple of Braid Bands, perhaps the drums right now, Yules, whatever you want to go for. However, if you feed a couple of times, you don't really have that space to farm up and come back. So they should really play around him.
They haven't been playing around him. Instead, they've been playing bottom lane, where they will get the tower traded out, though, because Ursa was already on the other side of the map doing the same.
Well, here, good smoke from him. He is noticing the movements of Malik, but
I think G was trying to bait, see if the Void Spirit would actually use his jump, kick into a Doom. And as long as the Infernal Blade is there, they should be able to get this kill, stay on top of him with the Scorched Earth. You could see Malik's trying to slow him down. Whoa! No way! He got the deny off of the easy camp creeps. Insane. Malik, nice job there with the Dissimulate. Moves to the left, away from the Earth Spirit's roll-in. Netrits, Aftershock. He can try and jump, but he can't outrun the lightning of Sunlight.
he had Magnetize and Doom on top of him, and he dies to a neutral creep. Like, what the shit, please? That's not real. That didn't happen.
Very unfortunate for Extremum. But that's nice. Double damage with an early Blink Dagger, so didn't go for the Deso build first. Wants to get active, and active he will be, getting the kill onto Happy. Nice. Look at those side play hits. Very nicely played by Melojul.
I need to say Melojul has been impressing me overall from this mid lane. He's been playing really, really well. A player that we haven't really seen before too many times.
Oh, that was such a close call. The pullback, though, they only need a couple of shots to be able to kill Malik. He doesn't have any more jumps away, so if he gets caught here, he's dead. But a cut through the trees opens up a secret pathway, and he is able to get away. And now Kellen is looking for that Omni-Slash. Melojul, you could see he's kind of laying out a trap. Oh, no! Jumped over the golems, and Velor tips him on his way out.
Damn, this game is a series of unfortunate events for both of these sides.
G will die as he just kept on diving in deeper and deeper.
He tried to use that TP to get away from Sunlight. Didn't work.
This one was always mine.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say, TA, once he bought that Blink, I wanted to justify it. Like, it doesn't matter. You can still farm with the Blink. You move faster, and then he goes and gets 2 kills. All right.
Inkswell, Void Remnant, pull back into the Inkswell stun, but Beller's going to be able to get here with a nice stun sound combination. Lil gets taken out. The Doom proves to be too tanky. Now he can kind of run in. Got to be careful of Sunlight, though. Sunlight does successfully TP away from a nasty engagement. Extrema take a number of kills, and they've got Ursa TA Lizard, a lineup that can blitz Roshan super early.
I think you give this Aegis to TA, right? Melojul is on fire. He's playing constantly on the aggressive note. He's constantly jumping the enemy lines. Just give him the Aegis so he can continue doing that. Meanwhile, Ursa, it doesn't look like he's he wants to do the same. He went drums into BKB, so this guy wants to fight just as much.
Yeah, it seems like everyone from Extremum's like, nah, not about that farming thing, you know?
I like the Yules quite a lot. It's probably the best item you can buy versus Ursa.
Yeah.
As well.
Gives you a bit of movement speed for the Razor. Nice combo with the static link. A lot of good options for a Razor. Gives him a disable so to make sure people just can't TP away from you. Velar kicks him away. Sunlight is immediately going to get doomed up as well. Now, expecting them to just retreat, but he's still trying to get the kill onto Velor.
Right.
Meanwhile, Nefrit happened to catch Happy.
It's probably the most useless target to Doom after he popped his ulti. You still don't want to run into him. He has a healing ward next to him. Just a waste of Doom there.
G is in deep here. He does manage to get off the Chain Frost, though. Melojul's going to wait for Sunlight to come back down. Fortunately, he is given the Frost Armor. A lot of damage is negated. Melojul will lose his Aegis here, and he may be losing his life. They have Omni Slash up. They get a disable out. Looks like no Void Remnant. No, okay, that Omni Slash attempted there. Quickly gets removed by Melds. Didn't have enough space, though, to be able to get away. Mega kill streak given to Kellen. That's 456 gold, and I like this. Omegalil immediately smoke up. They see they've got an advantage.
This is something that they've been doing in that first game as well. The moment they get a couple of kills on their side of the map, instant smoke into the enemy side. If they get a kill, great. If not, at least we're playing now on their side. We're threatening an objective. And I can respect that quite a lot. You don't see it way too much from tier 2 teams.
Yeah, it's a play that maybe they copied off of like a team like OG, who really makes that play quite a bit. Sunlight, Self-Fuel Scepter. Malik's going to come in with the Inkswell. It's going to be able to stun on Bolt. What a beautiful turn. The Self-Fuel's coming in clutch there. It gives the rest of his team time to come in. They're going to be able to take this tier 1 tower mid as a result, and everyone can go back to farming happy and healthy thanks to the healing ward.
You mentioned the disable factor from the Yules and the movement speed, but resetting the fights and buying yourself enough time for your teammates to come in clutch like they did right there is also a very significant part of that Yule Scepter.
A regen? Well, nobody's really missing a whole lot. Refill the mana from Kellen.
Yeah, when everyone is missing like a little bit of mana, you see who your priority in the draft is.
Yeah,
that target takes it.
The funny part is like Juggernaut, he hardly needs any mana when his Omni Slash is down.
It doesn't matter, man. He's the main guy.
He's got a blink. He's good.
Yeah, he's the main boss. Like that's what it is.
So you're saying it's more of a psychological thing? It's more about the dominance?
Man, that's completely a dominant move right there. You know, there are players, they come to region and they're like, okay, can I have this? Does anyone need this? Okay, no one needs it. I guess I'll take it. Will I take it? Can I take it?
That's a beta move, Blizzard. Don't ask, just take.
That's it.
14-10. 1,000 net worth lead for Extremum as they smoke up, and they're moving in the right direction. They're going to run right into Sunlight here. They need to be able to get a disable onto him, though. Fortunately, the TA trap with Doom is probably going to be enough.
That's a pretty good pick-off for them. Razor's dying, but look at this. Omegalil, they're not moving back. They're actually about to fight, it looks like. They know there's no Doom.
Kellen, is he going to pop the Omni Slash? Not right now. The stun comes in. A nice two-man silence. Chain Frost, though. They're kind of kicked away, and the Dissimulate will allow Malik. Malik actually stays in. Two-man telekinesis are going to land back down on the ground, stunning each other with the Inkswell stun on top. Malik just perfectly set up to be able to get the double kill. Lil still being chased by this Ursa, and they will manage to kill him, but they've got to help out Melojul right now, as he does manage to blink away. Malik just shy of being able to get the damage in there, and now he's a bit stranded. He's got an Astral Step coming up in 10 seconds. Dissimulate right now. It's going to be up to Valor. Does manage to get the silence, turn around a little bit of slow. Finally, Dissimulate being used here. Astral Step up in 1 second, but he can't get it off. That was so greedy from Malik, man. He'd been playing really well.
He could have gotten away there.
Yeah,
100%. You Dissimulate away, then you Astral Step, but instead he tried to be too cheeky.
Apparently, Sunlight judges this as a good time to go in. Valor, nice kick though, up into the high ground. Makes it so the Razor can't get anywhere close. They just keep on playing around this ward. They're not gonna let the supports deward it.
I was talking about that first game as more strategical and better than the first series, but yeah, we're going back to some good old CIS Tier 2 Dota right here. 30 deaths, 20 minutes in. Feels good.
Yeah, not quite as good as that that first series, Game 2, where we had something like 60 kills at 20 minutes. That was something else.
It was covered by Kyle and Slacks just talking about random things. And it's like, I was watching that game and I was like, okay, I actually like this. It's not like you can analyze what's happening on the screen.
They're just running into each other over and over. They just keep on bashing their heads together. Like, what else? You can't provide any analysis to that. They're just running into each other, casting spells, trying to... ooh, Lil gets the telekinesis off, and this... okay, he does manage to get away. No
Soulbind?
Remnant out in time. They do have that Soulbind, locking down the two of them. Sunlight's right in the position to be able to steal up all this damage. Gotta be careful, though, with the Doom on him. Looks like he's just gonna be run down by the Ursa's Nefrit. Trying to chase after Malik here. Malik playing around the cliff areas nicely. Everyone just TPing here is Kellen. He's in deep. He's got a spin coming up. He can spin and he can TP if he wants, but he's got to get away from Melojul. He knows that physical damage is going to be too much. He's just trying to cut through the trees right now. Silenced up. Veller ends up getting stuck for a second, but there's just nowhere for Kellen to run. I think maybe he just had to try.
Yeah, the minus armor and TA hitting him, he probably just dies there, right? That's what he was thinking. And also, he has Essence Ring, plus Omni Slash coming off cooldown, so maybe he was attempting some 5-head play there.
Yeah.
It didn't really work out, but it looks like Omegalil, if they use the Soulbind combos properly, their teamfights are good. And when I say Soulbind combos, I mostly mean Rubik, like double Fade Ball, double Lift. It looks all right for them. But if one of these two gets initiated first, then they just fall apart in these teamfights.
Yeah, telekinesis is such a powerful stun with Soulbind, right? Because when they come down there, the landing stun of telekinesis hits the two of them most of the time.
It's an earthquake. Valor.
Malik, he'll stay on top of Velor here, not give him any room to breathe. No chance of being able to make a roll away. Even as he tries, there's still the Yule Scepter.
Remember, he did buyback, so because of that, he's dead for a minute. It gives you a little bit of time to do whatever you want on the map.
Yeah, certainly. In Sunlight, his invisibility. He's got a Yule Scepter. I think all he's really scared of is if there's any heroes nearby.
There is a tier 1, so if you make this move,
they're going to try for it now. The TP is immediately going to come in. Nangrata missing yet another Centaur stun and will die. There is going to be some heroes just kind of running at them right now. Are they playing it safe? Oh, they're going to hide in the trees here.
There's a lot of damage on Sunlight.
Okay. This is a curious play. The rest of their team is cutting through from behind, so they can pop out soon as they got the silence onto the Templar Assassin with the Omni Slash. What a big kill. And Sunlight and Lil pop out just predicted. They go for Nefrit here. He's slowed down by the Astral Step, allowing Sunlight to keep right in time with him. The Chain Frost looking to be able to help out Nefrit. The Soulbind attaches to the two of them. Here comes the double silence. Kellen, he's almost there with the Inkswell. He needs a little bit more movement speed and he gets it. That's enough to be able to catch the Ursa. He used his BKB, he used Enrage, and he still died, Blizzard.
Man, I just love Omegalil's aggression.
Yeah.
The way they're playing, they're literally making their weaknesses their biggest strengths, right? Like when you get that kill, you use a lot on that Doom, and you know that they're rotating in. They don't fall back. They don't TP away. Even though you understand that there's a tier 1 standing there, there will be a lot of heroes. No, they stand. They even just cut from behind and get full team wipe almost.
A team that got convincingly 2-0'd by Cyber Legacy, but is really proving that they are the second best team in this Group A. And maybe forcing EXTREMUM into that 3-way tiebreaker.
Perfect play so far from Omegalil. A couple of hiccups here and there, but I'm really enjoying this game so far. Yules as well on Earth Spirit.
Earth Spirit's just so crazy mobile, man.
Yeah. And with talents as well, it's just crazy strong. Not really picked up that often. I guess with Resurgence of Darkseer, is being picked a bit more. Man, can you land a stun, please? Like, can you? I was building him up in that game once, saying good things about him.
You started the cast off, my boy non-grata.
My boy non-grata. Yeah, like, just land a stun once. It is a small radius. Centaur Stomp isn't really the biggest stun ever, but still,
no doubt.
It's not that hard when you have Scorched Earth, Drums, Phase Boots, and Blink. Like,
yeah. Almost had BKB on him as well. Blink Deso BKB on Mellow Jewel. They're up by 3,000 net worth. I would say they've got to be feeling pretty good about their lineup because I think they do outscale Omegalil. Would you agree with that?
I'm not quite sure. I think they scale very well. You do have Doom at one point, which will eliminate one of the targets, right? So
yeah,
it's hard to play against that later on in the game.
Ward on the high ground, Sentry immediately placed by Omegalil. So they successfully break this smoke and do not give Extremum the quarter to control around this Roshan pit.
Then again, on Omegalil, you have this Jug that can scale really well, plus Sunlight can just make a couple of these heroes disappear.
Trying to go in as the bounty spawn, it's going to be able to catch the Doom. Immediately taking him out. Velor, oh! What?
Oh.
What happened to his roll?
Did he connect on Happy?
I don't think so. Happy was a little bit far. He was down the staircase, right?
I didn't really catch when he was rolling in. I just noticed that he was left alone on that cliff.
Yeah. Well, alone on the cliff, that is where he will die. Omegalil. Nice bit of aggression. Breaking the smoke and then smoking themselves, knowing Extremum's positioning was kind of awkward, and they could kind of get into the Radiant high ground without being immediately having their smoke breaking or anything like that. It was just a really nice move by them.
And they're really playing at a really fast pace, Omegalil that is, and I like that a lot. The same thing was happening in the first game with those smokes. Even though they lack a hero or two, they still smoke up and make an aggressive move. It's very commendable.
Yeah, if Omegalil loses this game, I'd be tempted to say that it has more to do with the fact that they chose a Razor, and like maybe this hero just doesn't prove to be as good right now.
Stomp?
Because I think their play is fantastic.
Yep, I completely agree. I wonder, Razor so far was quite alright. He's fourth on the net worth, almost even with Ursa, right? So he's doing well.
Okay, here it is. He's gonna roll. What? There's no way that Happy is the one.
Wait.
He's so far away, and he doesn't get stunned by it either. What stopped that?
Chat, help.
I think like, whatever that was, I can't think of a reason why his boulder stops there. He should have been away. He would have rolled so far through the river and stuff.
He definitely should have. He had Soulbind on him.
Oh, a kick up into the high ground. That's nasty. And then G brings him back down. Oh, non-grata. He hits the stomp and gets the Doom onto the Void Spirit. That's a good target, too. Does manage to follow up with the Earth Spirit in Extremum. They just punish Omegalil for being a bit out of position around a nice defensive high ground ward.
Yeah, maybe they were talking about that roll as well. Weren't really sure what happened there, got confused a little bit, and then caught by the first stomp of non-grata.
He finally hit it, Lizard. He listened to you.
And it was a big one.
Yeah.
Pretty much in this game, Void Spirit and Rubik are your main Doom targets. They're so good if you do. Obviously, Jug is nice too, but you'll settle for Rubik or Void Spirit. Basher completed on the Ursa, going for that Abyssal. And some big items are coming online on Extremum, but it doesn't feel like this game is completely in their favor.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. It feels like this game is still very even. As we've seen, team fights can go either way just based off of the initiation.
Completely agree.
Especially with that big damage upgrade for the Juggernaut. They catch the TA before he gets off Refraction, or they manage to control the Ursa and not let him get off Enrage, then either one is just going to get one shot by an Omni Slash.
Kellen,
are scanning.
he doesn't have a TP on this bottom lane.
They are attempting to deward that same high ground that got them caught up, and it's going to be the same story potentially here. Kellen is going to pop the Manta, turn around, Omni Slash, then onto the Ursa. Without the enrage, he just dies immediately.
This time around, they were ready. They were waiting for that aggressive move. They did lose the Grimstroke, but hey, he just buybacks and comes back into the fight. I'm just surprised they didn't take... do they have any tier 2s? They don't have yet, right? So that's the reason.
This will be the first one, so they can quickly take this. You could see you've got Grimstroke already in position to claim that that shrine, that outpost rather.
Yeah, that's the 30-minute mark. 2 outposts going the way of Omegalil. There is no way to take that top one because no tier 2s on Dire have fallen.
And there's no way they can play into this jungle area while their Ursa is dead. So this will be a very nice experience lead for Omegalil. Okay.
I love spider legs on Razor too. Just allows you to transpass over the cliffs, stay on top of your targets.
Do you like his choice of BKB? I would almost have preferred an armor like plate mail into whatever.
Yeah, I have to say I'm not the biggest fan. It was on Razor, right? That's what you're...
Yeah.
It's like you can never truly hate on BKB too much.
For sure.
Because it's just a solid item no matter what, but in a game such as this one, getting a bit tankier would do just as much.
Yeah. He does pick up that BKB at the same time as he gets his level 20 talent, which I think is, I don't know, 10, 8 armor, something like that.
I think it's 8, you're right. I'm sure production will show us the talent on Razor.
Playing on the far left-hand side here. They have that ward on the high ground for Omegalil, and Nagrata just goes for it. Centaur stun into a Doom, immediately soulbound up with the Earth Spirit, though. They're double silence. The Omni Slash is bouncing around, but it's not doing quite enough. But Sunlight's laying in some good damage onto this Doom. Nefrit getting kited around, is not able to stay on top of a target, neither is Melojewel. Both of them find their single target damage is just being completely eliminated, whether it's through Halberds, whether through Nagrata going back in with another Centaur stun, slowing down Sunlight. But at this point in time, okay, maybe with this buyback, they can actually turn. They're going to go on to Sunlight while his BKB's down. He gets popped so quickly when the Ursa and TA combo up their powers. A 4-step, getting the Ursa away, but it's cut down. And now another jump in from our Juggernaut. Fortunately, the refraction blocked the damage and allowed him to be able to blink away. Void, Remnant, they really need to be able to win this fight. And it looks like Nefrit, they might be able to. Kellen pops his cheese, hoping to be able to skedaddle out of here. But Nagrata stays on top of it. Infernal Blade to slow him down just a little bit. Nefrit, if he hits him with the Aftershock, Infernal Blade after Infernal Blade, they do manage to get those kills. It cost them
3 buybacks.
So many buybacks.
3 buybacks. You bought back from Grata, Velhor, and Nefrit. Your Ursa, position 1 pretty much, was forced to buy back in that whole engagement. Meanwhile, on Omegalil, only Void Spirit. So if they manage, I don't see why they would be even forced to buy back. All your tier 2s are standing. So this, overall, yeah, if you're Omegalil, you lost a couple of heroes, but you don't care, you're fine.
Yeah.
You just forced 3 buybacks. That's a huge opportunity for you to take a big objective off of 1 or 2 pickoffs.
Yeah, it's not like Extremum are actually, like, maybe they get a tier 2 out of this, but ultimately they won't gain map control. Because as soon as Omegalil's back, they're going to have to play defensive.
And it looked good for Extremum. They initiated first, like you said before. It's all about this initiation, and they did it. Doom jumps into the trees, finds a Stomp and the Doom, but it just wasn't good enough to objectively just win them the fight outright there.
See how scared they are. TA has to back away from a aggressive Rubik TP. Refraction. Nope. TA traps, even better.
Perfect. Gives you
That's
that
what you
vision.
want.
Yeah, it's so good to steal on Rubik. You just keep map control after that for a really long time. Oh,
Nagrata picks up an Invis rune and finds the Void Spirit again.
that's dieback.
Malik is not happy with being targeted by these Dooms over and over again. And as you said, that's a dieback. So 4 versus 5 for a minute and a half. Now, Extremum can take over the map. Now, they can go for some objectives.
I wouldn't be surprised if Omegalil still put on a fight, because there is no Doom on side of Extremum. There's no Doom spell, right? So
yeah,
they did use to fight 4v5 before, so.
Yeah, they may catch Extremum by surprise. if any of them get out of position, like potentially this. Now, I don't think they can really confidently go towards that high ground area. You could see Omegalil, they want to play on this left-hand side, the area that they already control.
That was literally, he popped Scorched Earth and he moved in not to make initiation, but to take the creeps away. He's just creep skipping. So you see where they're standing, literally on this triangle. They want to stay there as long as possible to control it until there's Rosh potential spawn time.
Smoke is not going to break. They know that's an illusion. They know that Juggernaut is moving over to this area. They have a nice ward that has spotted some of these heroes, so they're going to be able to get on top of the Rubik here. Rubik's dead. Juggernaut is going to move down. Spin TP?
He's still thinking about it.
My man's hanging around. That's wild.
He doesn't care. He has those illusions, and some traps have scouted them out, so he's fine.
Dude, he might get... I wonder if Doom walks into him, he just Omni Slash kills him, and...
What's he doing there? Is he waiting for a bounty? He's waiting for bounties.
I think
he's gonna kill Career. No,
like either it's bounties or somebody's gonna come up to get the bounty, in which case it's a free Omni Slash, right?
He has to be careful though. They carry a punch right now. They could kill him even through that spin after Omni Slash.
Yeah. Kellen is
For the dead.
plays a little back right now. They do manage to get Roshan before Omegalil can actually
he's
get
still
everybody
there.
Up.
Okay, he did that. I'm sorry.
Dude, Kellen is crazy, man. He's going to Lincoln's next. AC instead of Shiva's for the Razor. I wasn't sure which one of the armor items would be the preference, but...
Both of them are fine.
Yeah.
AC buffs up your jug a little bit more, right? It's solid. I think Shiva would do just as much or be just as good. This time around he decides to go for that AC, which will make him a little bit stronger too overall.
Got the level 25 with the Meld Bash, so now Templar Assassin can actually start a team fight for them. Almost has an MKB complete as, or excuse me, Daedalus.
That's a sick talent. That's such a good talent on TA. I love it. It's like, for me, TA level 25 talent, the stun one, and Queen of Pain's Fear talent just changed the way you can play the hero.
Yeah. Those were considered like mid, maybe a little bit of late game power, but they were supposed to drop off, and then now they get their 25 talents and they get revitalization and power spikes. Gonna just jump in, go for it. Immediately tries to go for the bash onto Kellen. Kellen looking to be able to follow it up, hits the Centaur stun, throws out the Doom. Oh, our Razor's trying to get away from that Doom with the damage already coming out, but eventually he's gonna be caught by a bash from Nefrit. They've already lost their Templar Assassin though. Second line pulled in by the Void Remnant. Meanwhile, we're having a support battle on the right-hand side. Melojul goes for one bash, BKB, TP out, and there is no basher on the side of Omegalil, so he's good.
It's Kellen, right? If he has a basher in that situation, there's a chance that you stop it if he's going for that Abyssal or basher, but he went for Lincoln's, which is also pretty solid. You are playing versus a Doom, it's understandable, but man, they made a small mistake there because I'm not sure if Lil used his trap on TA or TA activated the wrong trap and then waited a second before jumping on top of Grimstroke, which gave him enough time to Glimmer Cape.
Yeah.
You don't Glimmer in any other situation there because TA just kills you in one hit.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
As a result, he has to hit Kellen. Oh, look at this. The Mel trap set up. I believe Omegalil, they kind of knew that was a potential play.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Glyph's gonna go off. Still another 45 seconds for the Doom. Can Extremum hold this off? A nice hit, long range hit there from the Quiver, but they've already caught him thanks to the Soul Bind Telekinesis and no buyback for the Templar Assassin. Now it's up to Nefrit. A Chain Frost coming in. It's gonna bounce around, do some damage to the back line, and they manage to pull in the Juggernaut, killing him. Malik does bounce away from the Chain Frost, luckily, so it's only one casualty. But Omegalil just lost their primary damage dealer in their assault of this high ground, and it's going to become even harder. Lil blinking in with the telekinesis, looking to follow that up with a Void Remnant, pulling him back in. Nefrit, okay, they get the Force Staff away, so G will not die. And if G stays alive, it's way too risky for them to push high ground like this.
Doom was about to spawn, he also has his Doom, right? And you can't really push versus the Lich that fast, you don't have your Jug, who is your main DPS at the moment. So they fall back, this is the right decision to make for sure. Overall, Omegalil, they take these small mistakes from EXTREMUM and they just use them so well. They maximize their potential, like that TA blink. And then they also realize we can't really push without killing heroes. So they kill heroes first. Very well, very good.
Yeah, Lil just getting like super aggressive with that blink dagger, finding those initiations.
Also finding trap constantly.
Yeah.
Stealing trap from TA is so important for him because it gives him vision so that he can blink in, lift, and set up a good pick off.
EXTREMUM still up by 8,000 net worth. Are there buybacks? Can we see the buybacks? I feel like they've got to be coming back up soon here. And yeah. So the Ursa and the TA both have their buyback from the timer earlier.
They just need some gold on Doom and TA, and then they should have it.
So now it's Sunlight who is the primary target of EXTREMUM. If they could put him on a dieback, maybe they would be the ones to get that first lane of barracks.
Is that AC completed on Sunlight or on the Razor? Is it being shipped to him or did he just switch up to Lincolns? I think he just switched up, right?
Yeah, I think so. Which, as you were talking about, it's like, it's not the best Doom target in the world if he gets off all of his abilities first, right?
You can always use it on someone else as well. You can put it. You can put double Lincolns on Jug. You also have one on Malik. Triple Lincolns, sure. Why? Okay, so all jokes aside, this can also come back to bite him in the ass because you're itemizing so much against this Doom that it just might mean that you don't have enough damage in these next couple of fights.
It is going to be a really interesting dynamic because I think the Lincolns is really cool because it blocks the Doom initiation and the Ursa's Abyssal Blade initiation. But if they ever get caught by like the TA Meld Bash and then Ursa just getting on top of you, then like you're going to be like, why don't I have more armor?
Yeah,
why don't I have more stats?
He doesn't block bashes, so he'll still be locked down.
Yeah.
With a little bit of luck for Nefrit.
And the Ursa's not going to be missing anymore as he's got his MKB complete, but he does completely buy out.
Non-Grata being very careful there, using that Lotus before heading down to eat a creep.
What's your favorite tier 4 item?
Tier 4. Illusionscape is pretty solid. It's not my favorite. Minotaur Horn is also good. Not that.
I think my favorite is the hammer. It's not the best, by far, but it is my favorite. Non-Grata, out of position, copy the telekinesis, Omni Slash down. Melt Bash going out onto Sunlight. They're going to Eul Scepter up this TA and kite away from him because the buyback of the Doom, they just wanted to try and make a clean escape here, but the chase is occurring here. The TA traps are slowing down some of these supports. A Minotaur Horn going off by Lil, so we can remove that, slow and keep going. A Soulbind going out to BKB activated by the Templar Assassin, so he's not controlled up. They do manage to bring down, looks like the 2 supports and the offlaner here. Can EXTREMUM catch any more? Beller certainly trying. He's got vision of Kellen right now, and he's got another roll forward. He reads that Kellen was going to juke down, but doesn't quite hit him perfectly. But now he catches up to him. Non-Grata, not sure what to do, though, against these Lincolns. He plays the Lotus Orb, but they have to back away.
That was a pretty solid fight from EXTREMUM, even though they forced the buyback out of Doom. They're a little bit unlucky that Rush isn't about to spawn. It can perhaps spawn in a minute, most likely will not. They would be extremely lucky if that happened. But Velhur, man, as well, coming in clutch. He has that Hex now completed on the Earth Spirit, so cash potential from him is huge. He only has to be careful when it comes to those Lincolns.
Yeah, maybe they can overpower some of these Lincolns with enough single target abilities. That was part of the problem before, right? Is that they have Doom, but no single target abilities to actually proc Lincolns. It's like Lich, you know, like, homie, get up there and use Sinister Gaze for me. Like, that's not going to work.
So G does have Force Staff. As a Doom, you can usually eat a creep. Like, okay, right now he's still...
Still banking on the Centaur
yeah,
stun.
he's still... I wouldn't. It didn't really work for him the majority of the game, but it's still solid. You could take any creep that breaks Lincolns and work off of that.
Happy. pops out of the base and immediately pops back into the grave that he's been visiting so many times in this game. He's gone for 60 seconds, 12,000 net worth lead for EXTREMUM now. And they do feel pretty good about their game, but they still have that Doom buyback that was used.
Oh,
Really? Happy's gonna buy back?
I think they're...
And they're gonna go for a smoke play, but I feel like this smoke is not very well disguised.
they were afraid of Rosh. You can see where they're running right now. They're running straight into the pit. They were afraid that Rosh might spawn, which it actually did. Was that the lowest counter?
It was a minute.
Okay.
Void Remnant pulling him back in, and Nefrit quickly gets on top of Lil, takes him out, now needs to be able to break that static link. Nagrata, right there in the middle of everybody, is going to be Omni Slash. Looks like he tried to go for Kellen, but instead, Kellen turns around and kills him. Velor tries to roll out of here, but he's not going to make it out. 2 heroes dead with no buyback. A fast move from Omegalil once again catches EXTREMUM with their pants down.
It looked like EXTREMUM wanted to fight there because they must have noticed the buyback. If nothing, not the buyback, the smoke. If nothing else, because of the buyback. And they went to this high ground. This is usually where you wait this aggressive move. You wait for them to come to you, you break the smoke, and then you fight. But TA just got demolished in a second. He didn't die, but he was rendered useless. He popped the BKB and ran away with 5% HP. And now, Rosh, who cares if your smoke isn't that disguised?
Yeah.
If you just run into them.
Just run at him. Now you've got Aegis Cheese and a Refresher Shard and an Aghanim Scepter. So now they've got... Oh, Swift Slash.
Swift
Strike, something. Yeah.
Swift Slash. It's another mini Omni Slash. Mini Omni Slash, put it that way. It's good enough.
I'm going to call it Swift Slash and hope that it's right. It sounds right.
Well, that Aghanim is actually crazy good on Kellen as well. It's exactly what he needed. Buys him some extra time, some mobility.
Okay, the tier 2's down. They still got 35 seconds. Can they get megas during this downtime of the Doom? Slowed down by the Glyph. That's going to buy them a lot of time here. EXTREMUM looking to slow them down with the Lich as well. That actually helps quite a lot. The Scythe catching the Juggernaut here, slowing him down. They look for the Telekinesis pullback of the Void Rend. This combination they're pulling off every single time. It looks so good.
What does Lil have when it comes to neutral item? Because that looks like he doesn't have a telescope, but that lift was from the parking lot, man. He caught him from the stairs. He wasn't even on the high ground.
And Earth Spirit didn't have buybacks, so he needs 50 gold for it.
Is there anything you can do to give him that? You can't really. There's no bounties.
No bounties or anything.
Yeah. Just look at how far away G is. He does not dare to approach them at all. Oh, that
1600 crit, thanks to the Magic Quiver. Meld hit. I believe that's what that was. And this tier 3 will eventually die. 10 gold until the Earth Spirit has the buyback. Will it even be worth at that point in time? No, oh no, the Ursa! He got Telekinesis, and the Glimmer Cape actually saves him. They'll bounce back over, though. This is the Omni Slash before. It was just a Swift Slash, and now they turn around. They do manage to get the bash onto Sunlight with the Abyssal Blade. Self-Fuel Scepter trying to remove as much damage away from Nefrit as possible, but eventually does go down. Malik with a Dissimulate, bounced over to the left, away from everybody else, but they don't care about him. They want Kellen. They want him bad. He turns around, another Twist Slash, looking to be able to bring down the Earth Spirit. That's going to be good enough, but now he's been doomed up. He's so speedy, though. They need vision of it. Turnaround Doom, a Lotus Orb Doom, bounces back on a Lil, and it looks like Nefrit with the Rubik's Doom on him may actually, if the Juggernaut gets close enough, he can actually die here. The Glimmer Cape going down, Kellen by himself. Challenging anybody. Turned around, Manta Dodge onto the Meld Strike and looks to hunt down anybody on this left-hand side. They had a successful scan there, I think, for a second, so he thought maybe somebody was over there.
Rapier on Melojoule. He hurts bad. You need to be careful here. They take the melee racks and they move back. There's still one side standing for EXTREMUM, but Omegalil are making some curious plays here and there, diving the fountain a little bit. It was a nice bait though, right? They moved in with the fake Omni Slash, then they follow up with the real one. But I think they didn't expect that Ursa to heal in 1 single second and turn on them.
Yeah.
And also Razor, he had the shard, but not the cheese in his inventory. So he's on 5% HP and he pops that refresher shard. It doesn't really do anything for him.
Yeah, that would have been a massive difference.
If he just stayed alive during that first burst of damage, like you said, huge difference.
Yeah, Nefrid at that point in time would have had to run back to the fountain to break the static link that was on him instead of committing for the Razor kill. Or even worse, he commits for the Razor kill, but he gets off the cheese, and then Razor steals all of his damage. And who knows what happens from there. This is a, feels like a pretty even game still, even with 1.5 lanes of barracks down for Extremum. They've shown that they can win fights.
Aghanim's on Lich.
Oh, he's got the AoE Sinister Gaze. That is a big upgrade.
The AoE gaze, man, that's gonna be huge if he manages to use it.
Yeah, against all these Lincolns too. Like, this is something that Omegalil may not be expecting.
Mini black hole, they call it.
Smoke up though, Omegalil. True to the characteristics they've shown us in this series, they will take this potentially last fight on their own ground. They're going to smoke up themselves, and they're going to immediately run at Extremum and see what Extremum does in response.
But just check the buybacks from these two teams. This is extremely dangerous coming from Omegalil. 3 of their heroes do not have buybacks at the moment.
Yeah, they could just easily reset and be like, okay, we're just going to play inside our base for a bit, but no. The smoke has worn out. They're up on this high ground, though. Don't think they've been spotted by any TA traps or anything like that. That's 1,600 damage from that Divine Rapier, plus the Quiver. It's a really good way to poke at Omegalil.
To poke? Yeah, if you're a support, that's not poking.
It's like one of those kung fu films where, you know, it's like the full-on, like, liver stab with the...
From distance somehow. It doesn't even touch you, you know, it stops in front of your face and then you just fall down.
Shiva's could be completed by Nangrata. He wants his buyback, though. Nangrata, the only one showing on the map right now, while the rest of the team plays somewhat nearby. Seems like in a way they're trying to bait that buyback. Scythe next for Mellow after the Divine Rapier he picked up.
This game still really comes down to initiation.
Yeah.
Which one of these two teams gets on top of the other first and faster?
I'm beginning to think that they almost have to get that Doom onto the Juggernaut, just because of Swift Slash, plus the fact that he's got Omni Slash as well.
And it's not an easy thing to do, because you have to break the Lincolns, and he doesn't have to use that Omni Slash. He can just follow up with Swift Slash, which will allow him to, you know, juke it out a little bit, perhaps spin afterwards, maybe even kill you in that one single spell. So, a reminder that Rubik is going for that Aghanims, so he'll have a blast in these next couple of fights if he gets it. It's like he's actually just 800 gold short. He might save for buyback too.
I'm gonna make sure it's actually called Swift Slash. Whatever I keep.
We are rebranding.
Swift Slash.
We are rebranding.
It is Swift Slash, and it's one word too.
If it wasn't called Swift Slash, it is now. This cast has rebranded the skill.
Timeless Relic for Velor.
Oh yeah, Timeless Relic is something that I love. That's it was on Doom, I believe, before, but now they're giving the Illusionist Cape, so they bait with it. I think you called that earlier, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
On the initiation on the Lil. This is a free pickoff. He's not going anywhere. He has the Force Staff, but I can't imagine he lives for long.
An attempt was made.
Yeah.
Ghost into Force, into having those Spidey legs, move him back downhill.
My question is, what was he doing so far away from his team there?
Little things, probably tweeting something.
Oh!
I love the guy, by the way. It's just
No,
low-hanging fruit all the time.
It really is. It really is.
Radiant
41 to 33. Extremum Trying to push forward while Lil is dead. Swift Slash bounces over to the neutral creeps. Nefrit, he's so close to catching up to Kellen there. They take over a bit of this high ground, but they don't really commit to it. Nefrit sitting up here, the rest of his team not so much, playing more around the Roshan pit.
This is extremely important.
Managed to break the Lincolns, get the Scythe onto him, and the Abyss of Play follow-up. Can they actually bring down this Juggernaut fast enough? They get a bash? No bashes. Kellen, he gets out the Healing Ward and jumps away. Now Soulbind onto 2. Kellen, he sees his opportunity. He gets right in the face and throws off the Omni Slash. That'll bring down the Ursa. That's all it does, though. He ends the Omni Slash, turns around, Swift Slash to be able to bring down the Lich, and the rest of the team will join him in bringing down Melajewel. And Nagrata is left for second last. Velor will be the last, and that is looking like it might just be the end of the game. Only the cores have buybacks.
Rapier on Jug. Yeah, it's completely in Omegalil style once again, right? They fight 4 versus 5. Rubik does buyback, but he's there a little bit too late to make any big difference. It didn't matter, however. They still took a fight off of them and took that Rapier, maybe even the game right here.
With that Divine Rapier, they're going to immediately go for the tier 4s. Not going for Roshan. Not going for the extra life. They're going to challenge Extremum here. And Extremum going to have to fight 3 versus 5. Immediately going for the supports first. Happy survives a little bit longer. Ghost after getting off with the Soulbind. On to 2. They have to bounce away. Oh no, the TA in trouble. Gets bashed up and he gets out with a fraction. The rest do not though. The Ursa immediately gets Abyssa bladed. And Nagrata will fall. The Templar Assassin stays alive through all of that. But his throne dies. A 2-0 for Omegalil as they force Extremum down.